Hello Vault Dwellers, how are you all doing? In this video I will be showing you an amazing and a better version of the flamer, which is the Holy Fire. So let's just get straight into the video. Now in order to get the Holy Fire, you need to do the Beasts of Burden public event. And when you're done with the event, it has a chance to drop the Holy Fire as a reward. Now it's time to discuss the best mods for the Holy Fire. So go ahead to Weapons Workbench and let's start with the tank. So for the tank, I went with the Napalm tank. So as you can see, it increases the damage significantly by a lot. As you can see that the standard tank has like around 70 damage and the Napalm tank has 117. It increases the weight a little bit, but the damage is of course worth it. So make sure that you have the Napalm tank if you want the best performance. Next thing we have is the barrel. So I'd go with the long barrel because the long barrel will give you extra range. It will decrease the VATS a little bit and increase the weight, but the range is worth it because you're going to need this extra range when you're using the flamer. So the next thing we have is the propellant tank. So it normally comes with the standard propellant tank, but you're normally looking for the huge propellant tank. Okay, so the propellant tank is like the capacity for the flamer. The huge propellant tank makes the capacity 200. The large propellant tank makes it 150. So you'd normally want the huge propellant tank as it gives you the most capacity. Now let's talk about the best legendary mods for the Holy Fire. I only managed to get the Vampires legendary mod, but the best legendary mod in my opinion for the Holy Fire is the anti-armor legendary mod. It's absolutely amazing and incredible, but of course the Holy Fire also works great with other legendary mods. So feel free to test out other legendary mods, but the anti-armor in my opinion would perform the best. Okay, so the Holy Fire requires fuel just like the normal flamer, but here's a slight problem with crafting the fuel from the Tinker's Workbench. It's expensive to make and it may be a little bit difficult for some players to craft as it requires oil and acid. But a solution to this is that you use the ammo converter and buy the fuel. For example, you could craft like for example railway spikes as they only need steel to make and sell them in the ammo converter and then go ahead and exchange them with fuel. But if you are going to craft it from the Tinker's Workbench, I'd highly advise that you use the Ammo Factory Legendary per card. So now it's time to test the Holy Fire against Super Mutants and Mutant Hounds at Westech after we have put the mods on the Holy Fire. As you can see, it does amazing damage at a really decent weight, so I'd really advise that everyone would try to get the Holy Fire. I'm gonna leave the video there, Vault Dwellers. If I have helped you, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe, and see you in the next video.